Well, hello and welcome. My name is Mark Epner. I'm a Chicago-based pilot with over half of my 2,000 plus hours in a Cirrus SR22. Currently, I fly this 2011 normally aspirated G3, but also fly other aircraft when the opportunity presents itself. I love flying every bit as much as you do and look for ways to share that common bond through multiple paths, including this channel, as well as Simple Flight Radio, which you can find at simpleflight.net. My goal for the channel is to share my passion for aviation with others that share that same sentiment and do so with an eye towards proficiency, safety, and fun. Well, hello and welcome. I am so excited, not about this jet that's just about to take off, turning left to 040, but I am excited to let you know that my plane is back where she belongs in Hangar 5 at Chicago Executive Airport. As you recall, we had an engine failure April 26th, I think it was, about 3 months ago. And to say that after a catastrophic engine failure, to see your airplane's engine in pieces, to see the airplane taken apart, you wonder how long will it take before we can get to this place where I can say it's back in the hangar where she belongs. And here it is. And it was a relatively quick fix. We had more to do with, or the delay had more to do with the number of people also in maintenance at the time. But we've had a chance to put a couple flights on her, and today's goal is to share with you my first flight back after coming out of that maintenance. And you'll find and see that it's really more about recording temperatures, documenting what are my oil pressures, oil flows, fuel flows, all of those kinds of things, even with an alternator failure that you'll see that happened on my trip back. So it's not perfect, but it's flyable. And the feeling I had of, I don't want to call it apprehension because I've got enough flights since the engine failure where I've gotten confidence back in the airplanes that I fly, but knowing it's just a couple of 2 to 4 bolts that hold that wing to that fuselage, that makes you kind of think about it. Hey, I hope they tighten those. Now, the folks at Lone Mountain who did a great job had the first flight in her. So I'll call that the test flight, and then we flew her back, and it was a relatively uneventful flight. Now, for those of you that are wondering about, Mark, what about the insurance outcome? More important, what about the analysis of the engine as to what happened? I actually have some insight to that, but I'm not ready to share it because I want to get the final documents, especially as it relates to the forensic analysis we had done on the engine. It's very, very interesting. I learned a lot. And there is an answer there. We know what caused the engine failure. So stay tuned on that. But in the meantime, I just want you to come along with me. Be a relatively short episode, but get, if you will, the feeling I had after 3 months getting back into my airplane and reacquainting myself with her. So with that, let's go flying.
First start appears to be a good one. I am so excited to be in my airplane, but we've got some. Okay, let's do my normal stuff. Right rudder, left ball, left rate, left rudder, excuse me, right ball, left rate. Lean a little on the ground, I'm showing fuel tanks. Done my complete pre-flight walk around. Setting trim as I'm going. There we go. Brakes working. All right, I got the caps pin pulled. She seems to be a little, I gotta provide a little bit extra. Let's see if. All right, let's do a run up. So I go to checklist. Normal procedures. For takeoff. Doors.
Test, test. Hey, Mark, can you hear us?
A-firm. Switch tanks. You hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We're going to do a run up and, so give us a second.
Okay. Springfield traffic, Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta taxiing onto runway 24, departure to the north Springfield.
Springfield traffic, Cirrus 8388 Tango, departing 24 to the north, Springfield.
Flaps up, yaw damper on. And approach at Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, just off Springfield, northbound, 2,500, climbing 4,000, ready to pick up our IFR clearance to Chicago Executive.
973 Sierra Delta, Columbus approach, squawk 4012.
4012.
And November 973 Sierra Delta, cleared to Milwaukee is 5, climb maintain 4,000, and date altimeter 2993.
I maintain 4,02993, 3 Sierra Delta.
73 Columbus approach, cross Tiger at 10,000, date altimeter 2993.
Tiger at 10,010,000, 2993, Endeavor 5093.
Number 14940, or 94 Sierra, your final instructions will be heading 180.
1365.
VFR 3000, return to this frequency.
And the lowest one is 1325, number 3. Here, number 3 is 298 CHT, 348, 5 and 6. So, 50-degree difference. 354, so 54. Number 3 is coming up a little bit.
5387, Endeavor.
Now they're coming up a bit more even.
Station 600, extra Tango descend, maintain 4,000.
I might be seeing a little oil coming up. He warned me about that. That it's just everywhere in the engine, in the engine compartment.
24 left of Roger.
Oil pressure staying at 49, oil temperature 191. Those are very normal from my previous engine.
Columbus approach, 2386 Victor.
Test, test, test. This is so loud.
Number 406 Julie Sierra, descend and maintain 11,000.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what do we got this set at?
406 Julie Sierra, contact Columbus approach 125.95. 14 4940, 5 miles from final approach fix, maintain 3000, establish on the low quadrant, cleared ILS, 24 left approach.
Press nav lights on.
27-2, thanks for 3 Sierra Delta. Fort Wayne approach, Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta. We are 4,000 direct now.
These things are all over the map. Actually, let me take a picture here. This is 6:21, so it's about 5-10 minutes after they were all up there. These are coming down now. Wow, these are a lot lower. All of a sudden they just sunk. Our highest one is 336, two of them. 344 at cylinder number 1. 2 and 3 dropped. We are at 1145 and as high as 1315. That's almost 200 degrees. That is just weird. I'm going to have to ask these guys. Oil temperatures are down from 191 to 187. And oil pressure remains at 49. So here we are now at, I should look at it, it's about 6:30 Central Time. CHTs at 354, I'm very happy with that. That works, highest one. EGTs are a little low at 1320, but I'm keeping the engine, I'm trying to keep the engine cooler, but keep the pressures higher to get those rings seated during its first hour with me. It flown 1 other hour, so we're going to do 1 hour at 82%. Then once I get to that end of second hour, I'm going to pull it back to 75%, and then every 15 minutes, 75%, 65%, 75%. That's what I heard from the Continental folks. Matter of fact, I'm going to boost this a little bit more power. Oil pressure's up from 49 to 50, which is good. I normally like it at least 50. 60 is max, so anywhere in that 49 to 51, I think is a really good number. Personal preference. CHT, hottest one is 356. Let's go to engine. CHT, you got 354. It changed, isn't that funny? 356 there. Which one's at 356? There is none at 356. How is that? All right, 354, 318. Okay, here's 298. So there's 56 degrees difference, potentially 58 degrees difference between number 1 and number 3. EGTs, 2 is 1175, 3 is 1150, and the hottest one is 6 at 1325, 1225, 1125, so 175 degrees or so. So it's again, we're used to seeing it, but flat, but we got cylinders being broken in. 186 on the oil temperature, 50 degrees oil pressure.
119.1.
Autopilot seems to be working well. Fuel, I've got 2 extra gallons on the right side, so I'm going to burn that down. Takeoff, I only got to a 92%. Which was a little light. And fuel flow was, I usually like it above 28. Fuel flow is, I think I saw 26.2. We need to goose that initial takeoff fuel flow a little bit, and that was with fuel pump on. That's the other thing. I've got the fuel pump on now. If I shut it off, watch my fuel flow, which is Alt 2. Now it's, okay, so now we've got 1345 is the highest, 2 of them. That's 1 and 4, and 1325, number 2. So it's within like 20 degrees, and there we have 358, 356, 336. So they're much more even. 1 and 2 are running higher. So our lowest is 338 to 358. That's
Just 20 degrees, right? 58, 48, 38, yep. Wow, interesting. All 2 is now out. My circuit breaker I tried to reset. Pattern altitude. Entering the 45 for left downwind 34. Speed's coming down nicely. Fuel pump on, correct tank, gas undercarriage, make sure landing light is on. Let's level off here. Wind's 16 knots, so I'm going to do a wide left downwind because it's blowing me 16 knots toward the runway. So when I don't want to get in a base and have to like do a steep turn to prevent from shooting over the center line. Okay, we're within under the flap speed, going in first notch. They work, that's always a good thing.
With apologies for the current placement of the camera, it's time to land. During the flight, I noted the settings I discussed in the intro. I took a mental note of the oil on the windscreen, the alternator 2 issue, the need for a fuel flow change at full power, and possibly an RPM adjustment. But most of all, I was just happy to be in the air with the plane, totally comfortable with her return to the sky, and ultimately to her home in Hangar 5 at PWK. When you look at her here, she kind of looks like she's smiling, don't you think? I'm going to go with that. Well, thanks for your patience while we're getting back to form, and thanks for joining me today. And as always, blue skies and tailwinds.